Hi there, gorgeous! Today I'm testing out a bunch of brand new makeup. Most of it is brand new. There are a couple items in here that are not brand new, but I wanted to test them out anyway because I've never tried them before. So I have stuff today from Morphe, specifically the Morphe Foundation and Concealer, an Essence eyeshadow palette, a few products from Catrice Cosmetics, and a new powder from Makeup Revolution. I'll be showing you everything in an up-close application, and then I've also included a wear test at the end of the video. So far, I have an eyeshadow primer applied and my moisturizer. I used the Milani eyeshadow primer today and then my Shiseido Essential Energy Day Cream because it has an SPF in it and we need that. First product I'm going to use here is from Essence. They came out with this new eyeshadow palette called Beautiful. And it's all neutral, but this one looked very promising in terms of quality. I'm hoping anyway. I'm really hoping because their singles have really impressed me in the past, but so far all the palettes I've been trying from Essence not been so great. I've gone ahead and swatched it, so I'll show you what all these eyeshadows look like on my arm up close so you can see the color range that's offered here. And the swatches were really good. I'm hoping that that translates to the eyes in the same way. Beginning with the shade In the Buff. I am going to use this as my blending shade, so I'm applying it directly on the brow bone. A little powdery there. Then I'm taking the shade My Time, and this is what I would consider to be a neutral brown, and I'm applying that in the crease. Oh, yay! I'm so happy to see this. Looks very nice on the eyes so far. The eyeshadows are extremely powdery, though, I will warn you now. I mean, you can see how much powder that one kicked off. So I'm really tapping the brush before application. I'm really attracted to this light, what looks like a lilac purple eyeshadow at the top of the palette. It's called Grige On. So I'm going to apply that on the lid. This one's very powdery too. Hopefully I don't have to apply it wet. Ugh. Losing me, Essence. Why? This was a great palette up until this point. Can't get that color to come through. I'm going to try to apply it wet. I'm going to use a setting spray here from City Color Cosmetics. This is their matte setting spray. It's helping a little bit, but that shade, oh, it's a beautiful shade too. This is so disappointing. It really is. All right, well, I'm going to take the shade Taupe Up, which is right next to it in the palette, and apply that over the top. And that one's really vibrant, but it could be also because I'm layering it over the top of that other eyeshadow and it's still a little damp underneath. So I'm going to apply the same way on this eye over here, using that lilac shade first and then layering it with the Taupe Up shade. Yeah, okay, the wetness over here really did help contribute to it being so vibrant because I applied that same eyeshadow over here dry and you can see a difference between the two sides. So I'm going to go back and layer it wet over this side to increase the vibrancy. Then I'm going in with the shade Coffee Talk, and this is another shimmer eyeshadow in the palette, and I want to see how this one is going to perform also. It is more muted compared to other brands, but it's not terrible. For the brows, I'm using a product that's not new, but it's new to me. I've never tried it before. This is Colourpop's Brow Boss in the shade Auburn. Now that's what it looks like in a swatch, and that looks like a really beautiful shade for those of us who have redhead tendencies. So let's see how it looks on the brows. It's really easy to apply. It doesn't drag on the skin. I love NYX's micro brow in Auburn, I really do, but sometimes it drags on the skin and it can be a little tough to work with depending on which one you get. I've used so many pencils. There's a fly in here. Anyway, I've used so many of the NYX micro brow pencils that the quality isn't consistent across them. Sometimes you get a really good one, sometimes you get a bad one. It just depends on which one you get. But this one is really nice. Well, I really like the color and I loved the creaminess of this brow product. It's very easy to apply and blend. Next product I'm trying out is from Catrice Cosmetics. This is their Camouflage cream and this is their green shade to combat redness. I have been looking for a drugstore comparable product to my beloved Graftobian, which isn't that expensive, but I've been looking for something that's a lot easier to find and get in the event that I run out, and it's a lot more green than I'm accustomed to. So I'm going to try to conceal some of the redness I have here and see what it does. Well, it's not terrible. Well, it does do a beautiful job of concealing redness. So far from this side to this side, you can see a difference in my skin. I am testing out quite a few face products here today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 5. Okay. Beginning with the Morphe foundation. This is one I've been asked a lot about by so many of you, so I'm excited to try it out. This is their full coverage foundation. The shade I picked up is F1.30. It's a matte finish. Consistency looks like that. I'm going to blend it in with my EcoTools sponge. The shade that I got said that it was for fair skin with cool undertones. They have quite an extensive shade range, by the way, in this line, which was very impressive. I think drugstores are starting to wake up to the fact that not everybody is this one shade. I mean, we're all different. We all have different skin tones, and it's very hard to create a line of foundation to match everyone, of course, but there needs to be a lot more thought put into it. I'm not liking how this is blending on the skin so far. It's sitting there. It's sitting on top of the skin, and I can see it distinctively. And I'm going to come in a little closer here so you can see. Move the mic. So you can see what I'm seeing. You see how it's sitting on the skin? You can really see it. I don't typically like to see foundation like that. I want to apply it and not have anybody be able to detect that I'm wearing something like that. Anyway, we're going to apply it on this side of the face using a brush and see if that makes a difference. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but we're gonna try it out anyway. What is happening here? Look at this. What is that? Ugh, gosh, that's just, okay, no, that's not working. I'm gonna go back to the sponge, see if I can attempt to fix this. I don't know what that is right there. I am not happy with this at all. Oh, and I gotta wear this face all day. Are you kidding me? Oh. Looks worse on this side now, and I'm going to come in really close so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Look right there. Splotchy, uneven, just look, ugh. All right, well, moving on to the concealer. Morphe also came out with a new concealer as part of this line, so I'm going to be using that one next, and the shade that I got here is C1.45. It gives beautiful coverage, and you can see from this side to this side the type of coverage that you get, and it blended in real well. I wish the foundation would have blended in that well. Okay, to set my face, I've got 2 new powders I wanted to try out. I am going to be trying them separately after this video though, because of how bad the foundation is. I have a feeling it may affect how they look on the skin. The first one is the Makeup Revolution Bake and Blot powder. This is their translucent shade. I'm going to set this side with it. And then for this side over here, I'm using one from Catrice Cosmetics. This is their Nude Illusion Loose Powder. Also transparent, but it is white compared to the Makeup Revolution, which is a little more skin-like. shouldn't say skin-like, but it goes on and you can't see it, it disappears. Whereas this one, just that foundation, I'm sure the foundation is making these powders look even worse, but I'll let you know at the end. More of a scent with the Makeup Revolution powder compared to the Catrice one. Catrice did not have a scent at all, but Makeup Revolution smells like powder, not baby powder, but it just has a scent to it. Last two products I'm using are from Catrice Cosmetics. This is their Golden Coral blush, really beautiful color. And I'm going to be applying that with one of the Morphe brushes. This is their fan brush. I've not used any Morphe brushes before this video. And this one was, in the store I said, I have to have that. Did you know how much I love my Eve Pearl fan brushes? I've been looking for something comparative in the drugstore, so I'm hoping these are good. I'm gonna test the blush at another time also, and then update you at the end of the video too, because I have a feeling the foundation may affect it also. This brush is super soft. I'm just loving. The application with it is quite beautiful too. So far I'm liking everything except the foundation. And I'm gonna come in closer here so you can see how horrible this looks, even after the powder application and all that. And if you look especially in this area of the face, you may be able to see what I'm talking about. It's not beautiful. It doesn't make me feel confident. It just looks gross, but going to wear it and I'll be back to show you what it looks like at the end of the day. On the day that I did this test, I wore all these products for 11 hours. So we'll start with the Essence Beautiful eyeshadow palette. I felt like by the end of the day, the eyeshadows started to bleed together and muddy into one another, and the look wasn't as clean as when I had first applied these eyeshadows. So sadly, from application to wear time with this one, it's not one that I recommend, and I feel like there are much better eyeshadow palettes out there in the drugstore. Going to Catrice Cosmetics. That green color corrector, despite my initial qualms with it, was actually really good, and I highly recommend it if you struggle with redness on the skin and you're looking for something that is affordable that will help to cancel that out. The blush also was really great. Great pigment, excellent lasting power. I'm wearing it again today. It's such a beautiful color. Now, let's talk about the Morphe foundation and concealer. Foundation was just awful. Awful. I can't emphasize that enough to you. It was so splotchy and uneven, hard to blend into the skin. It looked terrible, and I'm pretty sure that came across on camera, so I don't think you'll have any trouble seeing it. And by the end of the day, it looked even worse. It was a nightmarish product. It's not one I will ever use again. The concealer, same thing. It was horrible underneath my eyes. It creased terribly, and it was not flattering at all. And for the powders, the Catrice Nude Illusion powder and the Revolution Bake and Blot powder. I liked the Catrice powder 10 times better than the Revolution powder, and you can see why in the up close look here. Revolution side is much more oily. You got a lot of shine breakthrough there. Catrice's side, not so much. You don't have any of that, and I have worn both of these powders since conducting that test with the foundation because I promised you that I would, and definitely the Catrice one performs 10 times better than the Revolution one. Last two products before I forget to mention them, the Colourpop brow pencil. Love. I can't emphasize that enough to you. It is absolutely worth checking out. I'm wearing it again today. It has become a new favorite of mine. And this thing right here, the Morphe fan brush, love. This is just freaking fabulous. So let me know if you've tried any of these products out yourself, what your experiences with them have been. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I look forward to seeing you again next time.